The most important question, as far as I see it, is Zuzu. I mean, the hire I can understand, but can you explain to me what Zuzu is, Ty?
Yeah, I get that question all the time. Yeah. I don't. Well, okay. Here's the answer. It has nothing to do with anything that we actually do with the company, but there's an old Jimmy Stewart movie, It's a Wonderful Life, and his daughter in that movie is Zuzu, and he has a moment where he like pulls out the pedals, Zuzu pedals. Anyway, I watch it with my family every year for Christmas.
The Christmas classic, right?
It's like ingrained in my head. So when we were naming it, I kind of threw it out there like Zuzuhire, and it kind of just stuck, and we rolled with it, and that's how I got the name.
My God, that's actually a very romantic sort of image I have now, Ty. You know, a lot of these companies spend sort of tens of thousands inventing a new word or a new term, or you know, doing this marketing poll or that marketing thing, and you just watch a movie, basically.
Yep, watch an old black and white Jimmy Stewart movie.
Yeah, indeed, and it is a classic.
What Zuzuhire does, it's a screening tool. It helps you. It allows you to easily create multimedia interview questionnaires, basically to screen applicants on the front end of the hiring process. It's debated as whether or not you would call it an interview or just a screening tool. I tend to err on the side of calling it a screening tool.
Yep.
But basically, what we're doing, we have a component of our site that functions very similar to a video interviewing site. We do offer video as an option, but it's the way we developed the tool was to be, even down to the pricing structure, to be a screening tool for companies used to screen out applicants on the front end of the hiring. Yeah, we're in beta right now. It's actually an open beta. So the way we have it set up is we've allowed anyone the ability to go in and create one interview and try it out, test it. So so that's what we've been doing, and we're just asking for feedback right now. We have some different features we're going to be rolling out with the full version. We're actually, effective Monday, we'll have the full paid version that if people would like to upgrade their accounts and start purchasing additional interviews, they can do so. So we're kind of taking it in steps here. We want to make sure we had a product that was useful for others, and I think that we'd kind of bounced enough ideas around over here that we felt the best way to effectively launch a product was just kind of let's show people what we got, let's get feedback on it, and let's make it as effective as possible for those recruiters that are actually using it.
I read a Reid Hoffman interview earlier this week, Ty, and he had a top 10 sort of tips, if you like, for people like you, guys that are launching products out in the market. And I think tip number 7 was launch your product. Make sure you launch your product and at a stage when you're still embarrassed by it, which I thought was quite funny.
Great. I love that. I can relate to that.
Yeah, exactly. So I've got to ask you the question, Ty. What part of Zuzuhire embarrasses you? I mean, when you look at it, is there anything you think, oh my God, I hope no one sees that? Or
it's yes. I mean, I will. I mean, it's when I look at the site, and I read an article recently that was talking about, it was a guy who was a venture capitalist, and he was saying that when you launch a site, you're going to see everything wrong with it, and you're going to want to, as soon as you launch it, you're going to want to change half of what you're doing about it. And that's kind of exactly, I mean, as soon as we, I mean, the day we launched this, even in beta form, was just, I mean, nerve-wracking, because I see every little thing that was not 100% right. Now, what other people are commenting on and the feedback I'm getting has nothing to do with what I'm even seeing, but you get the trained eye to see everything that's wrong with your baby, and so I would agree. What you're saying is
you know what that's called, Ty. You know what that's called. I'm gonna risk some sort of amateur anthropology here, but you were undergoing what is known as semiotic arousal.
Sounds interesting.
Are you aware of this? Are you aware of this concept, Ty?
I'm not. No.
Semiotic arousal, folks. Basically, what it means is that you are overly sensitive to certain symbols and you interpret those symbols and you imbue them with loads of meaning. So, I think it came from the idea of the, millenarian cults in the, pre-2000s where, obviously it was apocalypse come, December 1999 and everything's going to go to pot or whatever. People were starting to see various things and then just understanding that as evidence that was when the apocalypse was happening. And it typically occurs when you are, you condition your mind to the point where, you believe on an endpoint. And a lot of product guys will believe, the endpoint isn't perfect. Therefore, they start looking for imperfections, and therefore you get aroused. Is the scientific?
Yeah, two ways. You can, first of all, email a link. Each interview questionnaire gives you a custom URL, which you can email out to candidates. So, we can. Typically, how we use it is we will send it out to a handful of candidates that we want to screen before we bring them in-house. So, basically replaces a phone interview.
Yep.
To where we send them that interview, they interview, and then email, or they click submit, and it generates back to us, and we review the results. Another way we use it is by embedding it in a job posting to where we filter all applicants through that process. Mm-hmm. And basically, one of the features to the site is the multiple choice option ranks, it grades and then ranks applicants based on the number of yes, no, or multiple choice questions they get correct. So therefore, you can log into Zuzuhire, and instead of just getting a ton of applicants coming at you through Career Builder, you suddenly have them all ranked, and you have not only their resume, but you also have a profile on them, which is the completed interview questionnaire with all the information, whether it be video, audio, et cetera, et cetera.
Right. Got it. And so from the job seeker's perspective, I might be contacted by, let's say, an in-house recruiter who's going through your platform, and they may tell me, hey, listen, get ready for this email. Just click on it, and you'll log into the Zuzuhire platform and get on the way with the thing. Or I see a job I like on the posting, there'll be a link there, and I click through, and that'll be how I sort of engage with it. Is that correct?
Absolutely. That's correct, yeah.
Okay.
We also, another way, when we have a job opening, we will tweet it out as well and use social media. So when they click on that link, the first thing they'll see is a job description, because basically we have sort of a blank form that a company can customize. So you can put a job description in there. You can do whatever you want. So we'll actually tweet it out and send it out through different social media platforms, and applicants can click on the link, see the job opening, and either refer it to a friend or go ahead and apply directly through Zuzuhire. I think it's a friend, definitely. I think social recruiting kind of it's like a double-edged sword. I could argue both that it's a great thing and that it's it's a terrible thing. But I think in general terms it's a great thing, and I think Zuzuhire works well with it. I think that what we're trying to do with Zuzuhire is make the hiring process more. It allows you to ask more questions, and we want it to be more of a conversational process early on. You ask more questions to your candidates, you get more information from them, you make better decisions. And we feel that social media basically is just the ability to it makes companies more social. It makes them interact more with their customers, with their candidates, et cetera, et cetera. So I think the idea behind both of them are very similar. And I think that they integrate very well too, because, like I said, we through social media the ability to be able to essentially tweet out an interview and say, anyone interested in interviewing for this position, please respond. And it's kind of a cool way of doing it. So I think that I embrace social media, and I think that Zuzuhire can integrate very effectively with social media.
Yeah, I think you're right. Have you got a strap line, Ty?
A what?
A strap line, a tagline? Zuzuhire strap line? Is there a strap line?
Oh, we do. I'm in the we do. It's interviewing simplified.
Yep.
But
that's terrible. I got a better one. I got a better one for you.
Go for it.
Yeah. Zuzuhire closing the gap between application and assessment.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. Yeah.
Okay, just give me whatever when you
via PayPal, is that how
yeah
we do
yeah
this?
when you run with that I'll send the deets over. But
Right.
but I think that's what you guys do, isn't it? I mean, I think we've always in recruitment we've always had this. Okay, apply. We're going to wait until all the applications are in. That's going to be about 4 weeks. Then we're going to go through all the CVs sequentially. Then we're going to sort of give you a call sequentially. Then we're going to sort of figure out who we want to bring in. And, the entire cycle goes on and on and on, by which time, people have forgotten about it. They've got bored. They've got married. Different things have happened in people's lifestyles. And, the original pool of candidates you had looks nothing like it does after that process. So I think if you guys just cut down that process, really integrate application and assessment together, it gets to the point where decisions can be made by businesses a lot more easily. But that's fantastic.
There are a lot of great video interviewing platforms out there. I demoed a couple, and they have good platforms that are, I think, a little bit different than what we're trying to do. But what I was wanting to use a video platform for was for that front end screening, and I don't think that where I saw the gap was that while these video interviewing services are great for interviewing internationally and for actually conducting an interview per se, I felt that they were not effective screening tools. And some of them kind of pitch themselves as, eliminating the phone interview, but I just didn't see it as an effective screening tool. So one was the cost model, the pricing model they had, which was you pay per completed interview. So they ranged anywhere from about $45, $50 per completed interview to about $150, $160 per completed interview. And when you're looking at volume, that just does not make sense. At least it didn't to me, and what we had budgeted. So, and it also, I wanted something that was, you could kind of customize to your own liking, and I didn't. So, those were the two reasons why we decided to go in the direction we did. Our pricing model is you pay a one price is $20 US dollars for a interview. You basically can create that interview questionnaire, and then you have unlimited access. You can interview as many people you want with that questionnaire for 45 days. So it allows for, there's no problem if you have a lot of people responding through a career builder ad. You're not getting charged every time you get a response. That
sounds like a really good deal. I think I know the platforms that you're talking about. I might have featured a few of those on my interview series before. I think, certain companies would probably have the budget to go ahead and do that. But the fact, it prevents them from putting it into an advert where you can't control the response. Because what if you do get 10,000 people completing that interview? Suddenly you have something that cannot be, it's almost like a spread bet. You can't control or guess the cost.
Exactly.
But you guys have got it down to, was it $20 for unlimited use?
Yeah, it's $20 for basically an interview questionnaire, and then we also kind of package them in bundles. You can do 5 or 10, and then we also have an unlimited plan. So for $200 US dollars a month, you have unlimited access to the site.
Yeah.
We store all of these interviews for companies for 2 years. So we'll never use that database for our own benefit. That's just to store them for companies.
So I would own the interview. So I have the advert. People send through. I own it. Yeah.
So you have the ability with each interview you complete. There's a custom URL to that interview. So you have the ability to then drag and drop that into an applicant tracking system under your candidate file.
Yeah, right.
And you can save that for 2 years. So that'll be active for 2 years. You click on the link, and up pops the completed interview. And you also, as a recruiter, let's say a third-party agency, you have the ability to brand a completed interview. So you stick your logo up on the top left corner and remove all contact information. And that link is also one that you can send out to clients as a presentation tool to present your candidates, and they can access that one screen and then no other part of the site too. So,
yep.
And we wanted to allow those links to be active for an extended period of time in case you wanted to go back and store them and whatnot. So, yeah, so we store them for 2 years. Like I said, we're rolling out the pricing plan next week. I believe it's Monday or Tuesday,
right,
to where you can upgrade your account and begin paying for additional resume or additional interviews if you want them. It'll probably be a few weeks after that before we actually roll out the official. We come out of beta and we're saying this is it. But I want to keep that beta. I think anyone that's launched a website will tell you that having that beta up there just gives you a little bit of you get a little forgiveness when you have that up there. And I don't want people paying for the site and having an experience that's less than what's expected. Yep. And so we're going to be very flexible with our customers while they're using it. If they have problems, I'm going to make sure that it's an experience that they're happy with at the end of the day, whether we have to refund them or whatnot, if there are any bugs. And so while we're still, just trying to get everything sorted out, I'm going to keep that beta up there until I feel good about kind of going live with it, taking it out of beta.
Great. Okay, listen, Ty, are you happy for me to give you some kind of live feedback as to one thing I think might be a problem with Zuzuhire?
I'd love it. Yeah, please do.
Yep. I think the video is you're giving them too long to shoot the video.
3 minutes. Yeah. The 3 minutes.
Yeah. I don't think anybody can do that. I think staring at yourself. I mean, and I do that a lot, but staring at yourself for 3 minutes and talking to really at yourself for 3 minutes, I think even a sort of a trained actor might have a problem with that. I would guess. I mean, as I say, I would guess that the quality of what that person's saying will degrade at around about the 60-second mark to the point, when you hit 100 seconds, the guy's just speaking gibberish.
Right. No, that's a great point. To be honest with you, the reason why we did 3 minutes is because we went back and forth. What do we do? A minute, 2 minutes, and we said, well, we'll do it 3 minutes. We'll err on the side of giving people more time, and then what we're going to be rolling out once we pull out a beta here is we're going to have the ability for an employer to choose the duration of time, so they can select 60 seconds, 90 seconds. 2 minutes, whatever. So they have the ability then to customize the amount of time and to limit it if they want to. Because that's a lot of the feedback I've gotten from customers that we got this guy talking for 2 minutes, 50 seconds, and we don't care about everything he's saying. We can you shorten the duration? We allow people to talk, and so I agree totally. I think limiting it is better.
Yeah, but I think if you had that function to allow the employers the choice, that would be great. I mean, I think you're going to get a few sadists that would demand, 20-minute interviews, let's really torture these people. But I think by and large, a video, maybe 10, 15 seconds might be enough to just see, okay, this guy can talk, and that's more or less what I need to know. Because, I have the CV, I have everything else, and, that's that. Anyway, I've helped you out quite a lot, Ty, haven't I? Goodness me. This is not part of the deal.
I think that with the video component, like you said before, that the video piece of this site is kind of that's the sexy element to it. I mean, and I think that component will continue to drive our sales just in our revenue, and I think that. I think as video continues to catch on more and more, I think that so will our site. But I also think that, I think for us to really get out the message about what we do is how we do video, but we're a multimedia screening tool. I think it's gonna take a little time because right now we're another video interviewing service. It's just another one they're popping up daily. Whatever. And so it's making that differentiation in the marketplace. So I would say a year from now, I think we'll really be in a very good spot. We have some exciting things in the work that I think will really kind of help out on that front. So I'd say about a year or so.
Fantastic. Well, okay, Ty, I mean, thank you very much for that. Very interesting chatting with you. I think we've got a very good understanding of what you guys are about. Do let us know when you take the beta off the website so that we can see what the final product looks like. I'm sure the viewers would be very interested to give it a go. So that's it. Thank you to Ty Abernethy of Zuzuhire.
Thanks a lot. This was great. I really appreciate it.
No problem. And this is me, Hung Lee from Wise Man Say. You've been watching The Wise Man Show. See you next time.